Welcome to this video, guys. As you can see, we're in my car in the car park at a supermarket, Asda, and we are about to go shopping. So this video is basically seeing if I can hit my daily macros, food input. There's a reason why I say food input. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Vegetarian style. So obviously I'm off season. I'm having 5 decent meals a day, including shakes pre, intra and post workout. And I want to see, especially this has come from RT coaching. When I released RT coaching, I noticed there were a few people wanting to do my competition prep, but they couldn't do it because they're vegetarian or vegan. So I wanted to see if I could basically do my competition prep, but through a vegetarian's eyes. So we are here at the supermarket. I've never tasted like corn, you know, sausages, mince, all that kind of stuff. So we will be buying all that tofu, but as the video goes on, we'll explain it and we'll go into it more detail. So let's get in and get shopping.
Yeah, that's what I said, number one, Dad.
Always a bit worrying, isn't it, when you get it out of a carton, protein out of a carton. Not quite a fillet steak, is it? Obviously, we are trying to keep in true fashion to being a vegetarian for today. Obviously, we need some soya milk, plant-based, for my coffee first thing in the morning, and maybe as my pre-workout, because I'm trying to stay off like stims at the minute, as in actual pre-workout stims. So let's do this. I'm always right. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm big, you're small. I'm clever, you're dumb.
Bold statements there.
Aye, aye, aye.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. So we're back from the supermarket. I'm not going to show you meal 1 because meal 1 can be the same whether you're vegetarian or not. The only difference is my protein source. I wanted to try the plant protein from the My Pro range, which is part of My Protein, because this is for vegetarian, vegan, and I wanted to give that a go. So other than that, my meal stays the same. So 120 grams of oats for complex carbs. We've got 40 grams of blueberries for antioxidants and also some extra carbs. We've got 30 grams of plant whey protein, and we've got 50 grams of peanut butter, which is for obviously a fat source. Like I say, you've seen me cook that a million times, so I'm not going to show you that. We're going to go into meal 2, and as we go into meal 2, I'm going to talk to you about certain foods I've had to swap out, the difference in weight, which is unbelievable actually, the amount of weight I need for certain foods, i.e. corn, mince, to get the protein or the calorific value of what I normally take out of meats is quite high. So we will talk about that as we go along. So let's get into some cooking. So meal 2 for me at the minute consists of 4 whole eggs, 2 slices of toast and 100 grams of smoked salmon. Obviously I can't have smoked salmon if I'm vegetarian. I can have eggs. We have swapped out the salmon For corn sausages, got 3 corn sausages, which is the equivalent to protein which I would have in 100 grams of salmon, but obviously we're lacking in fat. So I've opted for nuts. We're gonna go for cashew nuts, and I think it's around 20 grams of cashews, which is around 10 grams of fat, which is the equivalent to around 100 grams of smoked salmon. So we're aiming for around the same calorific value. But yeah, not too dissimilar, so I'm not feeling the effects just yet. Meal 1 was okay. Meal 2, I've never tried corn sausages, but they don't look too bad, to be fair. So I'm reserving judgment until I try them. Meat-free vegetarian meal, which that looks pretty decent, to be fair. Let's go. Bit of a random concoction, but I can work with it.
Actually looks good, that.
Don't look too bad, that actually, does it? Why so? You sound so shocked, so surprised.
I want to see the review of these sausages.
Couldn't really taste it again. Wait, let's try again. Actually not bad, to be fair.
Meat, like, can you taste meat?
It actually does taste. You can't taste meat because there's no meat in it.
No, but I thought maybe they'd add a flavour or something.
No, that's actually not quite good, actually. Sounds so shocked. It's nice, in fact. So this is obviously meal 2. I'm going to talk to you a bit about meal 3, meal 4, meal 5. Obviously I wrote this down, it looks very scruffy, but I needed to write it down because obviously to count the calories up. So what I would typically have for meal 3 is 200 grams chicken breast, 250 grams of rice, and half an avocado. So to basically have that in a vegetarian style, 350 grams of corn mince. That is quite a lot. It's doable, and I can do it quite comfortably, to be honest, but it is quite a lot compared to 200 grams of chicken breast. We've got, again, 250 grams of rice, so I can have that vegetarian, so that's no different. Half an avocado, that's no different. So really, it's just the protein source that changes in that one. Meal 4, we've got, normally, I have 300 grams of fillet steak, which is two fillet steaks, sorry, from Muscle Food. 500 grams white potato, which sounds a lot, and it is a lot. But that's post-workout for me, and I can seem to get that in quite well. And mixed green veg. The different option to that, which is obviously vegetarian, we've got 250 grams of tofu, which I'm not going to lie, I'm not really looking forward to trying that because you're getting it out of a carton. Amy loves it, but for me, is it quite salty? No, that's...
I've never had it.
No, that's the other one, isn't it?
It's just, there's just no taste to it apart from tofu.
Right, so yeah, I'll reserve judgment again, but not massively looking forward to that. But again, that's still not going to be the equivalent to 300 grams of fillet steak, like it's around 63 grams of protein, that is. That's 250 grams of tofu is definitely not that. So 500 grams of white potato, which I can have, veg, so that doesn't change. So again, it's more the protein source, which I'm going to struggle with the vegetarian. So to get my protein up to the 63, which is equivalent to the fillet steak, I've added 2 scoops of clear whey isolate from my protein. So I like the cranberry and raspberry. They've got a million flavors. They even do vegan flavors like apple and elderflower. But I've opted for that. It's like a fruit juice. So whilst you're having that with your meal, it wouldn't taste like you're having a protein shake. It's quite palatable with the tofu. And then meal 5, 200 grams salmon fillet, 240 grams rice, mixed veg. So what I'm having to go with for this, and it is quite a lot, this, I must admit, but it does work. Sounds a bit random, but it does work. 240 grams of mixed beans, so that's like a can drained of mixed beans, which is a very good protein source, by the way. Mixed beans, very good protein source. 120 grams of rice, so I've halved the rice input because obviously mixed beans have got high carb intake as well as protein. So that's going to counteract and that'll balance out. We've got mixed veg, And then to get my protein up even more, we've added 200 grams of egg whites, which sounds random, but if you look at all these, you can mix it all into a mixing bowl and eat it like that, like all mixed up, which would be quite nice. You could add some sauce to it. It's not really going to make a difference, especially at this stage of the year. And then we're going to talk about pre, intra, post. And I'll talk to you about that whilst I'm making them up. So I'm going to eat this meal and then obviously we'll go training. But when I'm making them up, I'll talk to you more about that. And then there's something specific I want you to take a look over and then maybe comment. And I want your opinion on it. And this is honestly, I want your opinion on it because I'm not a big advocate. I don't particularly like it. But I want to see your views on it and see if you can convert me. But stay tuned. We'll talk about that in a minute. Training time, so it's all about pre, intra, post workout. For me, this is probably one of the most vital times for getting my nutrients in because I can get a high amount of carbs in liquid form. So 75 grams of multidextrin pre, 75 grams during, and 100 grams post workout. So you've got 250 grams of carbs in and around training, which is the equivalent to what, over 1,000 calories of carbs, which is awesome. And they just goes down quite easy. So for me, it's quite important to get them in, especially at this stage when I'm off season. Pre, I have my intra EAAs with that, 3 scoops pre, 3 scoops intra. I add a scoop, which is about 5 grams of creatine intra as well. And then post workout, I would normally just have like a whey protein, impact whey with my carbs, but obviously because we're doing the vegetarian, we're mixing it out for the plant protein, which is new, by the way, from my protein, and it tastes really good. First time I've tried it today, tasted it this morning. Still isn't as good as my chocolate orange or chocolate mint, which is my favorite ones, but I can definitely work with it. So I want to talk to you about a topic that I often get asked, and I think in this day and age is really, really popular, and I want to know how you do it. So when it comes down to nutrition and your meal plans, do you count your calories and your macros? Or do you do basically what I do, which is old school, and you just weigh your food out? So do you go off weight or do you go off calorie intake and the breakdown of macros? And the reason I ask you this, and it's an honest question which I'd love you to answer in the comments below, because I've never been a big fan of MyFitnessPal, and the reason for it is I've inputted all of the food I've cooked today, and basically it's coming out at 5,118 calories for the day. And that's a breakdown of 313 protein, we've got 600 grams of carbs, and we've got 156 grams of fat. For me, that sounds ludicrous because I don't really count protein in oats, for instance. I'll only count complex carbs, bioavailable protein, and essential fats. It's a bit old school way of thinking. So in my head, I'm probably around 4,000 calories, but when I'm dieting for a show, I don't want all these figures in my head and to overcomplicate things. I go on weight of food once it's cooked. So I'll know all year what I'm eating through weight, and I'll know what my body can be at its maintenance or when I'm bulking. So when I start 16 weeks out, I'll have a rough guide of what I'm eating through the day. And then what I tend to do is taper that food down as I get closer to the show, or I'll increase my expenditure as I get closer to the show. And as long as my fat readings are coming down, I've still got decent pumps in the gym, my energy's still there, and what I look like in a mirror is going in the right direction, then that is good enough for me. And it's always kept the enjoyment there for when I compete. So I just wondered whether you think nowadays, have we gone too far into it where it's took the enjoyment out and it's a bit too, what's the word, like scientifical? I know that's not a word, but I've made it up and I like that word. But old school bodybuilders, you speak to the older generation, they'll all just weigh their food out. And I've, like I say, won the Arnold off that. It might be why I've not won the Olympia yet, because I might be just missing that. But I have tried it in previous preps, And they're the preps where I've least enjoyed it the most. So I've always gone back to what I like. So like I say, those calories, 5,118 calories, that sounds a hell of a lot from 5 meals which I'm eating. And it's not as if I'm pushing the food up either. This is just like a maintenance kind of meal plan for me. What I did want to do in this video, I've gone off track a little bit, but I would like to know your comments on that anyway and your thoughts on it. But the whole point of this video was to show from my competition prep or from what I eat day to day in a bodybuilding mentality, how to swap the food out and replace it with vegetarian options. And what my goal was to try and keep within 100 calories of my daily intake. So like 5,118 was that. We have managed to do that according to MyFitnessPal. So we are 4,964 calories in total. So we're still within the 100 calorie mark. And that's a breakdown of 302 protein, 636 carbs and 119 grams of fat. I'm pretty proud of that. It's quite an achievement, but it is hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy to do because the amount of volume of food I need to consume to get the same amount of protein out of meal 3, meal 4, meal 5 is astronomical. It's quite a lot of a difference. Meal 1 and meal 2 was not too bad. Supplementation is a big factor now. You can, I won't say cheat, but it can help massively because you got 25 grams of protein in that per serving. You got 20 grams in that per serving. So you can easily start to bump it up, but I'm old school. I'm a big advocate of solid food supersedes any supplementation. And that's the word. Supplementation is there to supplement a balanced diet. So trying to get the food in is key. For instance, meal 3, meal 4, meal 5, 350 grams of corn, which to some people that might not be a lot, but that is quite a lot of food when you're trying to add 250 grams of rice as well. It's a big meal, that is. And then 2 hours after that, you've got 250 grams of tofu, which again isn't a lot of protein. I'm going to have to add clear whey to that to get the protein intake up. So yeah, overall it's doable, definitely doable. Whether or not it has an impact on the way you look, I can't tell you that because I've only done a day's worth. It might be interesting to maybe try and do a prep on it. I'm not willing to chance that because obviously my next prep is the Olympia, so I can't afford to chance anything. But it'd be interesting to see if there's any vegetarians out there who are competing at the minute, how they look. Comment below, get involved, see what it looks like. But yeah, now we're going to go and train. Like I said, I've talked about supplementation, talked about the difference in food. Now I've got to go and burn some of it off. We've got legs, big day today. Let's go. We are back home. Legs are absolutely done in. Got a little boo-boo, little injury, but I think we'll survive from that. Still got my protein shake that I'm struggling. I always struggle after legs. I don't know if you guys comment below if it's the same for you, but leg day, I really struggle to eat after leg day. Amy is the opposite. She can eat a bloody horse after training legs, but for me, I can't eat for hours and hours, but I just have to get used to trying to force it in. But still got my protein shake, 100 grams of carbs, 30 grams of whey protein, plant whey protein today. Next meal is corn mince, 350 grams is the whole pack. So that's good, I don't have to weigh it out, but that's the whole pack. Whole pack of rice, which is 240 grams, around 60 to 70 grams of carbs, and then mixed veg. I'm just gonna go for broccoli, my greens. Don't really count the calories in my greens. And that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. A little bit of something different. Obviously, you've seen me train, you've seen my competition prep. I just wanted to try and, yeah, show you a little bit different content. But hope you've enjoyed the video. Please get involved. Like I said earlier in the video, get involved, comment below. Let me know your thoughts on MyFitnessPal. Let me know your thoughts on training or eating after leg day. And thank you for watching this. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Come on. Like this video, comment below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.